number one. Karate for defense only. Eh? Rule number two. Fast run rule number one.
Hello and welcome to the Road to Karate Kid Legends, our look back at the beloved martial arts franchise before we experience the unlikeliest of crossovers. I'm Ash Dobley, and joining me today is Dylan Blight.
You know what I really hate?
What?
When someone gets my bird and there's no other birds, but there's a cage, and then someone steals my bird from that cage. That's what I hate.
You hate it when someone takes your bird and just takes it to an animal shelter?
I hate that.
Where trained professionals can take care of it?
I hate that.
That's rough. Today, we are talking about the least necessary film to watch in preparation for the Karate Kid Legends. The next Karate Kid. You haven't seen this one before. You hadn't seen this one before.
No, I've never seen this before. No.
Interesting. I think I only watched it once or twice as a kid. Because girls. So yeah, let's get into it. Please be aware, we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about pop themes in any of the movies. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. With that said, let's dive into a discussion of the next Karate Kid.
Focus. Discipline. Courage. They prepared Miyagi to face anything, but nothing can prepare him for the next Karate Kid.
Mr. Miyagi is teaching you karate, huh?
A little.
If I try to kiss you, will you use it?
She's like no student he's ever had.
How was go to...
What's wrong with you? Are you crazy?
Miyagi have much to learn about the girl. Oh, it's easier.
He's like no teacher she's ever seen.
I can't believe it. I'm dancing.
Together, they'll face a challenge
You start hanging out with me and my friends, and you can have any damn thing that you want.
like nothing they've ever known.
Originally released 12th of August 1994, directed by Christopher Cain, written by Mark Lee, based on characters by Robert Mark Kamen, starring Hilary Swank, Pat Morita, Constance Towers, Chris Conrad, Michael Cavalieri, Walton Goggins, and Michael Ironside. Karate master Mr. Miyagi goes to Boston to attend a military reunion. There he visits with Louisa, the widow of his former commander, and meets her granddaughter, Julie. Julie's parents were recently killed in a car accident, and she is still reeling from the loss. When Julie surprises Miyagi with her knowledge of karate, he takes her to a Buddhist monastery for training and to help her come to terms with her angst. Dylan, what did you think of the next Karate Kid?
I didn't like it.
Sexist.
That's fair. Because keep on that, because I'm going to say, boy, did I hate that character. Hilary Swank's character is just not likable, I don't think. She's so, and I get the point that she's, this angsty teen with this build-up stuff, whatever else, that I get that's the point. But boy, was she annoyingly unlikable. To the point that when she pissed off the monks there at that dinner table scene, I was like, that's it, just kill her. Just
Whoa.
end the movie. Monks, take her out. And then what else annoyed me? Nearly all the movie. The bad guys just basically being a dude who's attempting to sexually assault her is an interesting direction to go. The Michael Ironside, as good as Michael Ironside is, he plays the same guy in most movies but just I don't understand how him and his role works within this school and why and how it's allowed. I was very confused by that. There's really little reason for this to be a Karate Kid movie at all. It's really just a movie about a girl trying to deal with the trauma of losing her parents, and they somehow managed to wrap it into having a fight at the end of the movie. They could have just made it about her dancing, to be honest, and used that to help her get through and a trip to learn to dance would have done the same effect, I guess.
That's another franchise.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Miyagi's fine. We get to, but he also doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem to be the same character. It just seems slightly off. Like it just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. Just there's something off. It's like he's playing the character, but not the character anymore. If that, especially going in these movies in quick succession, 1, 2, 3. I see it. I'm there with you. Coming to this one, it's just so much, so much. And I know he does it in other ones as well. Be like Miyagi enjoy like a lot of third person talking, but he always talking about himself in third person. This one, and I know that's a thing he'd done sometimes. A bit he would do sometimes in other movies, the other 3, but it's like he does it all the time here to the point that I'm like, you're just playing. You're playing the character that you know how to play, but you're pretending to play it the way people ask you to play it who don't understand the character. It seemed to go forever too. That's just because I probably wasn't enjoying the movie at all. But yeah, good lord, it seemed to go forever.
Yeah, this isn't very good. It feels like I feel like there's potential in this concept of Mr. Miyagi like molding another or teaching another, helping this other child through the karate or whatever, or through his teachings at the very least. But it's also surface level. There's like no really delving into the core issues, and that kind of stuff. I feel like it's the new creative team that is the issue, and probably the reason like the Mr. Miyagi talking in third person thing is so prevalent. It's someone who doesn't know these characters writing the script. I understand that she is very abrasive. And I think the problem is that, I guess you warm up to her towards the end when when she finally turns the corner at the Buddhist monastery, I feel like.
Yeah, but it's like, what, 3/4 of the way through the movie at that point? Like,
yeah,
I feel like it's not, I'm like, you can do characters like this, but you got to show
growth.
Or even like, just gotta have something, right? You gotta have a moment of. It's just like full on anger, and you don't have that moment where like you get to see her sad after she gets bullied, or like you don't even really see like her being super. Like I feel like maybe they'd made the scenes with her and the bird like just more of her like breaking down, and like you could see the pressure of the world on her shoulders and stuff like that. But it doesn't like they don't. Yeah,
been a little bit more. Maybe they were trying to be way too subtle, and like with that, I feel like they could have like delved into like her feelings about her losing her parents and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Because Mr. Miyagi, like she says, "Oh, you should have had a daughter or been a parent," And we don't address the fact that he did have a child that died during childbirth and that kind of stuff.
They just forget plot elements.
He has gone through terrible grief and come through the other end of it. I guess, kind of.
They also
except when he gets drunk.
Yeah, they also start the movie on a more interesting note. It's like, they're talking about like, all these Japanese American soldiers fighting for the American side and World War, and like they'll go like, and he's coming there to visit the wife of someone who knew passed away. Like that's all. I think like when the movie started, I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting direction to set things up. But then very quickly ditched it. And there's not even a moment where at any point does she even like go, hey, like tell me about my grandfather. Tell me about. Like there's no.
I mean, there's bits when she talks about her learning karate as a kid. But that's
I mean, he sort of starts that conversation as well. Like, just lots of failed opportunities, I
feel like also this ending doesn't work. The movie should have ended with her grandmother coming back. Her apologizing to her grandmother for being a bitch. And Mr. Miyagi going home.
Yeah, you know what they also fucked up on? They decided to end the movie on a picture of a bird instead of his face. That's what killed the franchise. Like,
yeah, I mean, some say.
Yeah.
I do like the relationship, like it's probably not a great time. I can't remember what his name is.
The boy,
Eric.
Eric.
Yeah. I think they're a good they're likable enough.
They were likable enough, yeah.
So, all right, let's run through the plot. Reading from Wikipedia. Miss Miyagi travels to Arlington National Cemetery for a commendation for Japanese Americans who fought in the 442nd Regimental Combat Team during World War II. He is referred to as Kazuki Miyagi during the ceremony. While there, he also meets Louisa Pierce, the widow of his commanding officer, Jack Pierce, and they both listen to the opening speech given by Daniel Inouye, who apparently is an actual senator or statesman. Yeah.
There you go.
At Pierce's home in Boston, Miyagi is also introduced to Pierce's granddaughter, Julie, a teen struggling with anger issues due to her parents' death in a car crash, delivered not so subtly in an information dump, which her grandmother apologized for. I'm sorry you had to hear that. Us explaining our entire life situation. Her behavior has led to friction between Julie and her grandmother, along with her fellow students and teachers. She sneaks into the school at night to care for an injured Harris hawk named Angel, who she keeps in a pigeon coop on the roof.
There's no pigeons in it, though.
It used to be when they used to send messenger pigeons out.
Right.
But then they got telephones.
Whole movie, I'm like, what is this up here for? There's no other birds in this thing.
Also, you could have just moved that bird at any time. Like, I'm sure your grandmother would have been all right with you keeping a hawk in that house.
Hey,
it was a giant property.
Yeah, I'm going to look after this hawk. Can I just keep it in the back in the garage or something?
Yeah.
Can I put it in a little, yeah.
Instead of stealing food from the fridge.
Yeah.
Sneaking out. Miyagi invites Louisa to stay at his house in LA to enjoy tending his garden while he remains in Boston as Julie's caretaker. At school, Julie meets and befriends Eric McGowan, a teenage security guard in training and pledge for a shady school security fraternity, the Alpha Elite. This whole group that Michael Ironside's got built up is very weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. It's basically like a school prefects thing or something like that is what it's led to believe, especially when Eric's like, this, like, everyone hears about it. I want to join it because it's such a prestigious thing or whatever. They have their little logos and badges and stuff. But then
and the other thing is he's going to give him like a recommendation.
Commendations because he's an ex.
He wants to go to the Air Force
or some shit. I don't remember. But yeah, then I'm like, none of these people are in school ever. They're always just hanging around the halls, just picking on other students not being in class.
I mean, that's accurate, right?
Yeah.
The members are taught to enforce the school rules, mostly using physical force by a self-styled Colonel Paul Duggan. His toughest and most aggressive student is the short-fused Ned Randall, who makes unwelcome sexual advances upon Julie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
When Julie survives...
He literally, several scenes in the movie is just him chasing her around, pretty much just trying to sexually assault her. And it just really confused me why if they were like, we want to do a Karate Kid, but we want to do, like, we're going to have Hilary Swank, we're going to have a girl as the lead. I'm like, wouldn't you just, like, make it girl bullies and then she, like, it would be less
awkward,
less rapey? To put it
bluntly,
bluntly,
was the 80s, Dylan. There wasn't a thing yet.
Or you just don't have this, like, you don't have the rapey plot and then, I don't know, just... Like,
don't have the guy trying to want to get with it. Done.
Yeah, just have him be a bully.
Have him bully, inflicting...
He's just a normal bully. He's just like, you're ugly and I hate you. Like, let's just go with normal bully stuff, right? Instead it's, nah, baby.
When Julie survives almost being hit by a car by jumping into a tiger position, she finally learns to confide in Miyagi when he recognizes her skill. She reveals she was taught karate by her father, who learned from her grandfather, Miyagi's student. See, it's all tied in.
Yeah.
And Miyagi's having a tough time, before this. Learning you need to knock. Something he did do with Daniel.
Yeah, I like that they did make sure to throw in Daniel once. He's like, see, before I lived with my best friend, Daniel.
17-year-old boy.
17-year-old boy. And we would go in each other's rooms whenever we want. I would never knock. I just come in.
Just hog everywhere.
Just full hog. Danielson.
Girls, more difficult.
Girls, more difficult.
Uh,
Boys, easy.
yeah.
You wax on, you
You
wax
wax on.
off.
Girls need to be careful with waxing.
Girls don't wax on, wax off.
Yeah. The pizza delivery guy who almost sits there, like, he's trying to get as many lines in this movie as possible. Like, he is apologizing for a very long time
He put that on his tape.
on his tape. Yeah. While trying to feed Angela one night, Julie is detected by the Alpha Elite, who chase her through the school. Again, super rapey vibes. Although she escapes them, she is arrested by the police and suspended for 2 weeks by Duggan.
They'll teach you.
They'll teach you for breaking into the school, even though all these other kids were here as well.
Why were they there? Were they there every night? Like, what the fuck? So confused.
Oh, no. When she was almost caught the first time, they knew it was a girl, and I guess they assumed it was her.
Yeah, but if she didn't show up, were they going to show that? Were they just going to hang out there every night until they caught?
Maybe they have been
Order?
staying there every single night, camping out.
Ridiculous.
That's why they're wearing the same clothes all the time. It's not
A
uniform.
bunch of Freddy Kruegers running down the hallway with their like, "Come here, Julie."
And then he's the only one to chase him into the cafeteria, and all the other dudes are just standing there. What a bunch of useless dudes.
Monks.
Yes. Miyagi uses this time to take Julie to a Buddhist monastery to teach her the true ways of karate and how to handle anger issues. Julie learns about direct lessons about balance, coordination, awareness, and of the respect to all life. She befriends the monks, who eventually have a birthday party for her, giving her a cake and an arrow that Miyagi gets caught in mid-flight in a demonstration of Zen archery. They also concede to her wish that they visit her in Boston, where they go bowling with Miyagi. A local player challenges them, loses the match, and accepts their tutelage in how to bowl a strike blind.
Yep, that's all the thing that happened.
That is all the things that happened.
I do not feel like her training time was good.
I don't think it helped her in many ways.
I really don't like it. This movie misses its like core, crane kick, the bowl toy.
Listen,
like
I think this fact that I found on. Hang on. Oh no, I had it here before. Give me a second. Here we go. This piece of trivia about the Karate Kid, the next Karate Kid, I think sums this up a lot. The fight choreographers gave Hilary Swank a pink belt for her mastery of the most flashy techniques, but none of the basics.
Yep, that works. That adds up.
Yeah,
because
no foundation. It's just let's do crazy flying
every
kicks.
time she's doing like practicing whatever moves, right? Like she's under the waterfall, like it just looks fake.
Mm-hmm.
And I get like obviously it's actor or whatever, but when you have those shots of Daniel and Miyagi like practicing the silhouettes or on the rocks, the kata and whatever else, like it looks good because he learned it and he's doing it. But she under the waterfall, I'm like, you just look like you don't know what you're doing.
Although this does have my favorite scene, which is the monks dancing to a prominent song that I can't remember. What is the song they're dancing to?
I mean, the monks is probably the best stuff in the movie.
I mean, the monks are the MVPs of this movie.
Yeah, they are.
To be perfectly honest.
Also, I like how they when at the end when they shoot the arrow and they're like, "What if they accidentally killed him?" Do they?
Yeah. I mean, it was super close.
They got so annoyed about her killing a cockroach or whatever.
And she won them over by finding a praying mantis in the middle of nowhere, and instead of leaving alone to be alive, taking it and showing it to this other monk.
Well, she returned. I think she took a life and then she returned a life to their area.
Odd.
She got a +1 for the monkastery.
Monkastery.
I'm gonna do that. I know where there's a monk thing. Around
It's
where I
Dreams
live.
by the Cranberries. That's the song I'm thinking of.
So, yeah.
They-
I'm gonna grab a bug and just knock on the door and be like, "Yeah, can I join?"
But yes, I know the monks come back later in the movie, but them bowling, hilarious. Even though if the like very clearest like CGI of one's about to bowl, got a ball, and then it's swinging wildly.
Yep.
And just winning over everybody. You know, and the guy being good sport. You know, that's the key thing here. You know,
he was leaning super racist before that.
Yeah, but then you know,
get your dirty monk hands off my
my
bowl.
bowl, my expensive bowl. But yeah, that all happens. Good old monks, you know.
Good old monks, yeah.
I don't think any of them actually talked. Now I think about it. Oh no, one of them
talked. They definitely talk, especially when they at the end, and they're like, Miyagi, come, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Upon returning to school, Julie discovers that Angel was found by Ned, who called animal control. Miyagi assists Julie in releasing the bird back into the wild, using the pain suppression technique from the first film to heal her broken wing. Mr. Miyagi, super healing techniques. Why wasn't that the business in the last movie?
It's true. Fuck the trees, man.
Fuck the trees. You could have made millions like healing
Turn
people.
water into wine.
Bloody hell. In preparation for the prom, Miyagi teaches Julie how to dance and buys her a dress. Great scene of Miyagi trying to buy her a dress.
She's not tall. She's not short either. Not fat. Not skinny.
Slender.
What's she like? She needs to work on her roundhouse kick.
They got a dress that would help.
Need to work on the basics, is what he's saying.
Yes. Julie goes to problem with Eric, but under Dugan's orders, the Alpha Elite bungee jump in. When one of the members breaks his arm, Eric shows concern, but Ed tells him to stay out of it.
Why do they bungee jump in? Because the only explanation we get is, because he asked to. And that's it. We never come back to it. It's never explained.
He's just fucking with his kids, I think. Pretty much. Just wanted to see how far he can push them, I think. Eric drives Julie home and kisses her. Ned follows him and smashes the windows of Eric's car with a baseball bat. Ned challenges into a fight at the docks and is joined there by Dugan and the Alpha Elite. They set fire to Eric's car and severely beat him, but he is saved by Julie and Miyagi. Ned tries to grab Julie, but she challenges him to a fight. She holds her own using the karate she has learned, even when Ned throws sand in her face. Julie defeats Ned and turns her back on him. Dugan bullies the rest of the group to continue the fight, but they refuse, because Walton Goggins grew a conscience. Miyagi challenges Dugan to a fight and wins, leading the Alpha Elite to abandon him. The film concludes with Angel flying freely above the water. Yeah, this wasn't good. They just put a bunch of slow-mo in there at the end for Hilary Swank's moves.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about the odd ones is they some of the fight moves, they're a little bit rigid, but they're at least doing it. Like you can tell they're doing like Daniel, what's the actor's name?
Ralph Macchio.
You can tell you can tell he's doing the fight stuff, but it's like sometimes it's like it's a bit rigid, but it's because they've practiced the choreography and they're not super smooth or whatever, but they're at least like doing the moves, right? But yeah, having to go to a lot of close-ups, slow motion, angle, stuff like that to cover it. I'm like, come on, guys! Like,
I mean, even the Pat Morita stuff didn't look fantastic in this one.
Yeah,
but yeah. All these alpha dudes are like, no, we don't want to fight a girl. I want to get beat up by a girl. And then it just ends. Why?
Yeah, and not on a shot of him smiling. That's the problem.
That's the joy we want from all these movies.
Yeah.
No resolution to anything, really.
Yep.
And that's the last we see of Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. Wild.
All right. Anything else you want to discuss about this film?
No.
No.
I'll say this. You're currently having me watch a lot of bad movies at the same time. And I think it's making those other movies worse.
What do you mean other movies worse?
Like I'm watching this and Shitty Superman at the same time. And, like I'm just...
So it's compounding.
Maybe.
Mm.
Take that into account, Like...
Maybe you hate this movie more because you had to watch a bad Superman movie.
Just been watching a lot of bad movies lately, So, yeah.
Well, they're just, you'll appreciate it when the good stuff's coming down. Which we might have next week when we're going to be talking about about Karate Kid. But please, let us know what you thought of the next Karate Kid. Is it disappointing that Hilary Swank never got redemption in the world of the Karate Kid?
They said they wanted to bring her into Cobra Kai, apparently, but they couldn't work it out in scheduling. Because the creators of that show said that they considered this movie canon, because as long as Pat Morita was in it, that counts. So.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you think of this movie by letting us know on Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com, or find us on other social media at ExplosionPod. If you want to help us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars or just tell people about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, for us with $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/supports. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.